Right, we sound good.
Welcome to Three Random Monkeys. I'm Dana.
And I'm Bill.
And
why do we sound so good?
Why do we sound good? Practice, practice, practice.
I thought it was just because I was good looking.
No, it's all subjective, obviously. You know, haters post in the comments below. No, I mean, you know, naturally it's got to be the $2,800 or the $2,400 guitar, right?
Well, we did a video though where we compared $200 guitars to the Green Monstrosity, and they all sounded different but good. So I'm thinking difference. There has to be a you know, the $2,000 Kemper on the floor. That's, you know.
Well, I've got an $1,800 Kemper stage, and you know the big boys, because I'm one of the big boys. We haven't played live in years, but anyhow, big boys play Axe FX, Kempers, Helix, those kinds of things, because nobody schleps around amps anymore. I mean, I remember back in the day as hauling a full Marshall stack.
I was hauling my own gear.
But if you've got a good profiler or modeler, is when you're recording direct to your DAW, or you're running direct to the board when you're playing live, nothing beats it. And you can get, I mean, nowadays, why play through amps when you can get the same sounds
for $1,800? There's got to be a cheaper way.
I'm glad you asked, Bill.
Right?
We're going to show you how you can go direct to the board, direct to your DAW, for a hell of a lot less than buying an Axe FX, buying a Kemper, buying a Helix. So you can get away with cheaper. And how we're going to do it is with an IR loader at the end of your pedal chain. So if you've got pedals you like, if you got the sound you like, you can...
Well, let's do it.
All right. Well, I got the IR loader. In fact, before the days of IR loaders, this was my speaker simulator back in the day, so this works too.
Could any guy have too many pedals?
No. In fact,
we're going to have to cut away while he digs all this stuff out.
This is only one tub too, so, you know, I'm going to need, you need your distortion pedal.
Oh yeah, we're going to have to, we'll come back when Dana finds what he wants, or we're going to be here all day.
Yep, another distortion pedal.
Well, that sounded freaking awesome, just like the Kemper. What did you do?
Well, I ran one pedal into an IR loader, impulse response loader, that basically
does what the Kemper does for less.
I don't think it's being comparing them, you know, because I paid more for the Kemper. The Kemper's always
it's got to be
sound better. It's going to sound better.
Money, it makes better.
But this is just one pedal into an IR loader, going directly into the same mixer that everything.
Let's take a closer look at it.
All right.
Okay, so you finally got this stuff set up. What do we got here? What is this?
This is a Friedman BEOD Deluxe.
It's called Be Odd. How appropriate for you.
Be Odd. Now, if you've looked at any of the videos of, you know, metal pedal shootouts and things like that, is the BEOD oftentimes wins hands down. And so this is a great pedal, and it sounds, I mean, as you see in the video, it sounds pretty darn good. This is the Sonicake IR, and it's an IR loader that has 11 different impulse responses in it, and it goes from a little 1/8 speaker through a series of 412 speakers and a couple of actual bass speaker cabinets. We've got an 810 and a 210. So you could run this, I mean, if you're a bass player, it'll work. And the nice thing is you can put your own IRs in here, so you're not stuck with just what they've got here. And once you start playing with IRs, let me warn you, this is going to be a rabbit hole, because
fall down.
You're changing your pedals, changing your guitars, changing your pickups, changes the sound a little tiny bit. Changing your speaker changes the sound.
So the IR is basically an EQ picture, a very very complicated EQ picture of a particular speaker.
If you had a series of parametric EQs and you knew what you were doing, you could try to approximate what an IR does. It's a very complex EQ curve. So what we're going to do is, they're built in, I'm using all the stock IRs that are loaded in the Sonic IR, and I've got the brightest sounding one is a Marshall 412 with vintage 30s in it.
And that's kind of what was on the Kemper over here, right?
Yeah, I'm running vintage 30s on the Kemper too. So the Kemper does impulse responses. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to play the same riff, and I'm going to cycle through the different impulses. And there we go.
Guitar player in a box. This could replace everything. Drummers out there, this could be the answer to all of our desires right here.
Yeah, if only they would play the guitar into it by itself. But that's, if you could, I mean, it was obvious that the sonic differences between the different IRs was huge. So if you're trying to make tracks separate, differentiate themselves in a busy mix, changing the speaker is more
better?
It's more different than...
So if you buy the Sonic IR, you're going to need a preamp. Is this a preamp? What would you call this?
Well, it's a distortion box, but it can be used as a preamp, run into the effects return of another amplifier, or in this case, I'm running it directly into the Sonic IR. We're going directly to the board, and it...
So does the Biod have an XLR out?
No.
No? How would you get it to the board then? I'm a drummer.
This has an XLR out.
Oh, sweet.
So your IR loader is
So
at
you
the
really
end.
wouldn't need your Biod if you have the Sonic, right?
Well, what is your tone? This is your tone. So whatever distortion pedals, whatever your pedal board looks like, this goes at the end of your chain, and this goes directly to the board.
What if this is your amp and you still want to run that to the front of the house because he's not micing you? You're just using your amp as a monitor. So could you just connect this to your amp, utilizing the EQ off of your amp, and then just run this to the board?
Depends on the amp.
So it depends on your gear, basically.
It depends on your gear, but if
saying.
you've got a pedal board that you like the sound that you already have, I mean, this is very simple. This is one pedal into the IR loader going directly to the board, and it sounds pretty ballsy. And in a mix, it would sound great, and I could replace this with any number of distortion pedals, between swapping out pedals and swapping out, changing the IRs. The Sonic palette is
so basically
infinite.
The Sonic IR is where you're getting your major change.
Huge, yeah. You're changing.
Yeah,
speakers.
we just heard that. Yeah, okay.
And it was way bigger than just sitting here and futzing. If I was to sit here and make a video of me just futzing with the 3-band EQ, it would have minor variations on a theme, and it would get muddier and brighter and duller and stuff. But when you change these guys, it changed the character of
Okay, what does a rig like this cost?
Well, this is not cheap. This is over a couple $100. But it depends. I mean, if you've already got an investment in pedals and you like the way the pedals sound, especially if you run them into the effects return of a clean amp and you like the way it sounds, running it into the Sonic IR.
So the Biod's a couple hundred. How much is the Sonic IR?
$60. This thing is $60.
Okay, so that's like dirt cheap.
So I mean,
who needs this? This is what real people buy, right?
They could. They absolutely could. This is a way of playing, of gigging without having to schlep any heavy gear. Have your pedal board, have an IR loader at the end of it, and you are good to go.
Sweet.
And because this one actually comes with an XLR, you're good for long cable runs.
$60.
$60. And we are not sponsored by anyone. We just happen to like this.
We want to be sponsored by people, though. We won't lie for you, though.
He says now.
Oh, the power! Buy this. It's the best thing ever. Actually, this is probably the best thing ever, but you pay for it, so we'll go with this because it sounded awesome, too.
Yeah. No, it's fun. It's fun. And the fact that you can just swap out pedals and get... swap out pedals, swap out IRs, and you can change your tone dramatically. In fact, when it comes to recording, is that we're actually going to be using this in our mixes.
Yeah.
Credit for the ballsy Kemper profile that goes to R.U. Serious, who has released a heavy profile pack that for free. So that's R.U.Serious. Google. Have fun.
All right. Well, we're out, I guess. Like, subscribe.
And take care.
We'll see you next time.